Hello, it's William Jumping, and welcome to my channel. So previously, this is my phone. I got my phone, got my Mac. I'm testing like using two cameras to record things. So it's difficult to set up, but I'm trying to do this. Okay, and so previously we talked about we draw a sphere and just the normal material. So today I'm going to adding a little bit of variation just to change the material to another. Okay, so hopefully it will work. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to change opacity of this whole sphere. Okay, right now it does not let the light go through. So if you want to decrease opacity of the sphere, really simple. So the light coming this way and should go through, so the shadow will change. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to let's group all this together. Okay, so group 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. Okay, make a group, and this will be our normal sphere. Okay, I don't know why there's no keyboard. Sphere. Okay, sphere, just normal sphere, and return. Yeah, I don't know why we got an I here. Doesn't really matter. Let me just yeah. Oh, I believe I just got the the written scribble sphere. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so yeah, sphere, and then what I'm going to do is to hide the sphere. Okay, or what's more interesting is that I'm going to leave some of the thing. For example, I want to leave this shadow. Okay, I want to duplicate this shadow and make it here, and then I like to get hold of this sphere, duplicate this, hide this, and make it here. Okay, and then hide everything. So basically, we use the previous shape as well as the previous shadow, but we are going to try to draw this a like decreased opacity, increase or yeah, decreased opacity, make it sort of transparent. So what I'm going to do right now is to think. Okay, so you do need to actually think about this before you doing something. Okay, so first you have to think. Well, we got the light here, so yeah, I believe I right got the light. So I'm going to duplicate the light here and make it here. So we got the light coming this way. So this should have a reflection here, and since this is transparent, so what I'm going to do is to make most of it the background color, because it's a little bit transparent, right? Since it's transparent, it will show like you look this way, like Z stack. Okay, you look this way, you can see through this, so it will have the background color, and the light go this way, it will bounce around inside of the sphere, but it will like shoot, and approximately here you should have some sort of light. So this should have a sort of a texture light coming through. And what is more, since it's transparent, this is like a mirror. Okay, so it will reflect the surface here. So this should have a like curved surface approximately here. So that's a lot of thing to consider. So I'm going to duplicate this, hide this in case I mess it up, and I'm going to alpha lock this. And since I'm going to use the background color, I'm going to pick the background color, and then since it's alpha locked, okay, so I can easily use the background color to draw a area, okay, and hold it. So this area will be will sort of like retain the original color. The rest of it will be the background color. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, I can't do that. I might as well just since I already alpha lock this. So let me try this. So I'm going to get the edges here and drop it. And it's not working. That's pretty weird. I should already overlock this, and I should be able to drop the color. Okay, that's good. I'm going to just okay. I'm going to, because I got this like a weird edges here. Yeah, that's good. So I don't need to draw the rest of it, but rather just use the background. Yeah. So yeah, let me just rewind this so you guys can see more clearly. Just use a line to go to here and click and drop, and the drop threshold previously like too high, so you can decrease the threshold until you can see the area at the top. That's good. Once you finish this, this is just too much transparency. You don't want that. If you got too much transparency like this, you will not be able to see there is a sphere here, right? So you won't be able to see this. So how should I draw this and reflect, sort of reflect? It's a sort of transparency. Really simple. We can add some sort of texture by using, I believe, the soft brush will do. Just default. I try to use like the default thing as much as possible. So I'm going to use this texture, and I'm going to decrease the opacity and increase the size a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to, because the light come this way, you should shoot at the like inner surface here. So just a tiny little touch. Okay, and I believe here, let me just make it even smaller. Just tiny little touch. Here, here. It should give you like a really vague feeling. And yeah, I think that's already pretty good. Okay, so kind of give you guys a feeling that it exists. You can increase opacity, but decrease the size a little bit, just to give the edges part more. Okay, and of course, there's also a trick here. You can always use the Gaussian blur just to blur things out. Okay, but it kind of like missed the top area. I don't want that, so I'm going to just decrease the Gaussian blur to a tiny little bit. Okay, because I want to keep the top area as much as possible. I don't want to be like too much like texture inside. Okay, of course I can do some drastic like this, but I don't want, I want to do something like this. Okay, so yeah, just add a tiny touch of Gaussian blur. Yeah, maybe just 4 6, yeah, maybe 6. Okay, once you finish with that, you have to deal with the reflection area here. So this will be curved reflection here. So how to deal with this? I already set this alpha log, so rest assured it will be fine. Because I'm sort of like lazy, so I want to just to do that in one layer normally. But if you don't want to do that, you want to add a separate layer, that's completely okay. You can use a clipping mask. Okay, let me just do this, a clipping mask, and then you can add above this. Yeah, let me experiment a little bit. All right, sorry, I just experimented a little bit. So let me just bring this back. Okay, so hopefully this will work. Finger crossed. Yeah, yeah. So let's continue. Let me put it here. All right. So what I'm going to do is to use a clipping mask. Okay. So I thought of a way, but I think this will be easier. Okay. There are like a lot of ways of doing this. So I think the simplest way is to add one layer above the shape that you want clip, and just to make this a clipping mask. So when you draw, you will not get out of this shape. Of course, if you want to add this like reflection, you can use alpha lock. Since it's really easy, of course, you can use this same method for your clipping. Doesn't really matter. I just want to show you that it is doable. But this clipping mask will be done by using the color here. Okay, but you can't possibly just use exact color. Okay, let me show you. If you use exact color, let me use the studio pen just to show you guys. And you got some shape like this. Oh yeah, let me make it smaller. Maybe not studio pen, let me use a textile pen. Just make it more, yeah, like this. Okay, of course you can do something like this, and of course you can drop this inside. Yeah, but that won't do. That simply won't do. Of course, the first is the shape won't do. The second is the color will not do. So we have to think of another way. I think let's think about this. So what I'm going to do is to draw a maybe just draw a curve. Let me add a little bit and decrease opacity a little bit. And what I'm going to do is to, since it's too bright, I don't want the same color. I want to sort of mix it with the background. So if you look at here, we got background here. But if you look here, we got some upper, like yellowish color. So what I'm going to do is to make it darker. Just a little bit darker. But we don't want, like darker than the background. We don't want that. So of course, if you want to add a little bit texture, you can using the airbrush, like the airbrush, like this. If you want to show that it's really bright, you can use some sort of a hard brush, or a hard blend. Okay, so let's use hard brush. Let's use hard brush. Because if I use like using a line, that would be like too much like dividing point. I don't want that. So let's try this out. Yeah, I think this looks pretty promising. So let's make make curve. Okay, one curve. Okay, I think that's will get me a little bit overlapping. So the hard brush may not work. Maybe soft brush, but adding a little bit opacity. Okay. Yeah, let's adding a curve like this. Yeah, that's that won't do. Okay, and curve like this. And got inside just some reflection and fill the area in. Okay, so you will remember this is a clipping mask, so you will not go outside of the area that you and maybe just erase some parts because the shape is not okay. I want the edges to be a little bit more curved. Yeah, let's try this again. Maybe adding a little bit up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to be more bold because I want to experiment a little bit. Okay, I got this basic shape, and then I want to erase this part to have a like sharper edges. Okay, so sometimes I use eraser to draw things. Okay, this is definitely too rag. So I'm going to gently make it more curved. Okay, maybe just add a tiny little part so I can give a little bit curve like this. And of course, this is way too not transparent. So there's a hack as well. You can just decrease the whole opacity. Okay, just make it like a little bit transparent, and I can make it like let's try different. I make it lighter, scrolling color dodge. Yeah, addition, so it will like brighter light color. Yeah, overlay. Yeah, you can find a lot of combination, and until you find this one. Let's just use normal for this one, but decrease this, so hopefully can give us a nice, yeah, a nice reflection. Okay, and since it's a clipping mask, I can just undo the clipping mask. Yeah, yeah, maybe not undo because it will get outside of here. So let's think about this. Let's think about this. Maybe I'm going to duplicate this, okay, and make this. Yeah, we can't do that because they will get rid of the clipping mask. So let's think about this. Not clipping mask, just make it more transparent, maybe. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, pretty good. In fact, pretty good. Can give you a nice transparency. All right, so yeah, so we're dealing with the reflection here, but remember the shadow also got a reflection as well. So the shadow down below will have a reflection at approximately this area. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is to add this as well. Alright, sorry about that. My kids is at home, so he would like always come inside and check on me of what is going on. So yeah, sorry about that. Let's continue. Let's continue. So we got yeah, we got a reflection. Okay, here, and then the shadow part. Okay, because the shadow do have some reflection, but before we're dealing with the shadow parts, that's dealing with the light part because light comes this way and it will cast a shadow. But this shadow will not be the same as the shadow like this because it's a little bit transparent, right? So what I'm going to do is to look at shadow here and let's just bring out this shadow, okay? And we are going to like start this shadow. We want, make it transparent, so I think I'm going to add a clipping mask. Okay, let's try this. Let's add a clipping mask. So whatever I draw will be here, and I'm going to get a little bit bright, but that bright will not be brighter than this ground. So what I'm going to do is to get the ground color and just turn it down a tiny little bit because that's basically essentially how the light comes through. It will come through, it will light it up, but will not be like much brighter than the ground itself. So okay, add a little bit texture to it. Yeah, first let's just use the basic, just to be safe. Okay, using the airbrush. Where's the airbrush? Use the soft airbrush. Decrease the opacity because I'm going to like draw over this, make it fairly small. Just add a tiny bit here, right? Let's just make it bigger. So we got this light coming through, but there's not a lot of texture, so I'm going to maybe grid roll. Okay, yeah, that's definitely too much of texture. Make it smaller. Yeah, maybe a little bit too much. I'm going to make it darker and make a really small, really opacity roll a little bit. Yeah, that's it. And maybe using another layer for clipping and adding a row here. Just want to add a little bit texture to this. And of course, you can add a little bit Gaussian blur because it will not have a really transparent here, and you can always decrease opacity, so just nicer to see. And by the way, the whole layer here should go underneath this. So okay, just to group all this together, make a group, make this group below. Okay, so yeah, this looks much nicer than okay, I'm going to watch my OBS, because OBS, I sort of treat my OBS as a small version of my drawing, so I want to check it out, see what's going on. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I need to move the whole, maybe move the whole, yeah, move this, what is inside this part a little bit to the right. Okay, to the right, and make it, maybe make it, just make it bigger. Yeah, that's about it. Freeform, select. Here, maybe. All right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Nice shadow. I love this. Okay, I love this. So yeah, so you can see the light come through, get a reflection of the floor, and shine here. I love this. I love this. And then let's continue. So it's already give you a little bit transparent feeling, but remember, we are going to dealing with the shadow area. So the shadow, we can yeah, the shadow definitely is going to let's think about this. The shadow is inside. Okay, so maybe I'm going to add a clipping mask inside this layer here. So let's think about this layer. Yeah, just above the layer, I'm going to add another layer, and there will be a clipping mask, but this time I'm going to add a shadow. So the shadow, I can use the color, just to using color pick here, and what I'm going to do is to draw the shadow inside. Maybe this time I'm going to give it a try of a technical pen, maybe studio pen, something like that, and decrease opacity, because I'm not sure about this. So every time when I'm not sure about something, I'm going to decrease this, and definitely to yeah, we can't do this. Let's think about it. Yeah, because it's hidden. Sorry, because it's hidden, and I'm going to make it darker just to try things out. Yeah, we can do that. Let's make it even darker. Maybe not necessarily clipping mask here. Oh yeah, I understand, because this clipping mask got this decreased opacity. So even though I got like a really dark color, still it got a decreased opacity. Okay. Yeah. So maybe I can combine all this together, or I'm going to think of another way. Maybe add a clipping mask here. Okay. So add, go here, and add clipping mask here, because this got a maximum opacity. So yeah, that would do. That would do. And I cover another layer above, like a really like transparent layer above. So that's good. Decrease opacity, and maybe decrease the size as well. Okay, that would be good. So what I'm going to do is to get hold of this area here. Okay, I'm not going to draw a really precise area. So yeah, I don't want to cover the whole part. So maybe just some area here. And can I just use a drop? Yeah, maybe not drop. Let's just fill this area. Yeah, we can't do that because we'll overlap. Let's think of a way. Let's get the edge, then drop. Yeah, obviously that will not reflect. Okay, let me think of that way. Maybe this time using a airbrush, but darker airbrush. Let's try this. Okay, that's too big. Make it a smaller airbrush. Okay. Okay. Make it more like here, and just feel inside. Okay. So the shadow, and of course I want to add a little bit of reflection of. Right now, it's just too messy. I will fix this with a little bit Gaussian blur. Hopefully, it will fix this and move the whole area a little bit by adding a rotation here. Okay, so hopefully they will work. Maybe here. Okay, maybe just a tiny little reflection here. And then I'm going to erase this part. I'm going to soft brush, erase this part. Erase a little tiny, yeah. Maybe that's too much. Decrease opacity, increase the size. Just give it a nice curve. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would do. Just a tiny hint of the area here. And by the way, you shouldn't add a lot of dark area here, because there's like um, the highlight. The light come this way and should have a like really bright area here. So let's try another clipping mask, but this time I'm going to add a little bit bright color. Let's pick the color here using a soft brush. Just add a little bit. Okay, just add this a little bit above. Okay, I believe I can increase the opacity because the whole area will not have a really high opacity. Just increase, doesn't really matter that much. Okay, I can do all the opacity I want, and maybe I can like even duplicate multiple times. Doesn't change that much. Okay, so let's use this. Let me just use here, not fill, but rather just using alpha lock and decrease, because this will got 100% opacity. So let me just decrease this just to be safe. Yeah, but it will not cover the area above. So maybe just to add another clipping mask. Sorry about that. Okay, so this would do. Yeah, let's decrease the size just to make it. Yeah, why is it going outside? Yeah, not clipping mask. So clipping mask, and just add more bright area here, and then decrease opacity, increase the size. Just get like a hint of the highlight. Okay, just a hint will do. And then of course the inside is not completely transparent. Okay, so I'm going to give a really subtle hint but really large size. Just have a little bit like curve inside, because it will not be a completely transparent sphere. Just add a little bit here. Okay, just making more, texture inside, because you can't get like a really pure one. Okay, and then here comes to a interesting part. I want to add a highlight here, and since the area reflection inside here also got the reflection at the above, so it should have a like a subtle reflection at the top. We also need to deal with that. So I'm going to add a clipping mask, but just to push it here, just down below, just below everything. And what I'm going to do is to add a just a hint. I think just a hint will suffice. So I'm not going to use a really bright color, but just a maybe studio pen that would do. Just maybe not studio pen. I want just a hint. So airbrush, soft airbrush. I want to pick this kind of color, okay, and just to add a hint of area here as a reflection above, just a tiny hint, so they know what's going on. Okay, this is definitely too much. I'm going to using Gaussian blur, just blur it out. Okay, so just give a tiny hint of it do reflect at the top, but it's not too much. Okay, and then don't forget you can always add the highlight. I'm going to use the color here, but make it brighter. Okay, and since the light comes this way, it will hit at a certain surface. That's what I'm going to do is to use a maybe hard brush, okay, or maybe just to use a studio pen or marker, just get your reflection here. Okay, this is definitely not going to work. Let me increase the opacity. Okay, highlight. I want to have a really highlight. Yeah, maybe this one. Yeah, that would do. That would do. A pretty interesting highlight. Okay, just here. It's not bright enough. I want like really bright. You got like a yellowish bright. Okay, I just paint over this. Just have a yellowish bright. Hopefully this will work. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, let's think about this. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all for this. Of course, you can like decrease this a little bit. But that's just a just a tiny little detail. But right now, I think most of the work is done. So basically, let's just group all this together. Group everything together. Yeah, we got tons of things. A new group. Oh my gosh! And this group together. Okay, and you can compare this with the sphere below. Okay, so this is sphere below, and we use this as a base, and we change that to a transparent sphere. Okay, that's amazing, right? That's amazing. So if you compare these two, so you can sort of see the difference of the material. Okay, so the material is transparent, so have much more highlights, and since it's transparent, it's like a mirror, so it can reflect the floor. Since it's transparent, light will go through, so the shadow will have light. The shadow will have a reflection, and the light will reflect inside. So it got like like the hue of like a fog inside. So that's what I'm trying to use this video to experiment, to practice, and show you guys how I learned this. Okay, so thanks. Please give me a thumb up and subscribe to my channel. Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay, let me pause this.